Good morning, children. Welcome to your English video lecture. Children, today in this video lecture, we are going to start a new lesson. Okay, this is part of your English literature. And the chapter that we are going to start today is from your book Honeysuckle. Chapter number 6, the name of the chapter is Who I Am. Okay, so today we will be reading this chapter, and also I will be explaining you the meaning and I will be also giving you the explanation in the chapter. So children, let's start it. But before we move into the chapter, the reading part, I would like to give you a very brief introduction of the chapter, that what we are going to read. So basically in this chapter we will be reading about diversity. So children, what is diversity according to you? And I know that you all have this chapter in your SST also, that what is diversity, and I hope that by now when we are doing this chapter, you all have this basic idea about diversity. You have already understood the concept of diversity. So in general speaking way, if I talk about diversity, diversity is basically that we know that people are different. Every individual in itself is a different person, right? Everyone is different. I am different, you are different, your brother, your sister, everyone as an individual is different. Their thoughts are different, their likings are different, their choices are different, right? All the things are different, but diversity basically teaches you to be different and still manages to coexist with each other. Coexistence is the main motto of diversity. It is basically that that your ideology, your liking, your preferences are different from the other person who is next to you, but you still manages to understand their priorities, understand their likings. That is what diversity teaches us, that even though we all are different, even though every individual is different, their choices are different, we still manages to live together in a very normal and peaceful universe. That is what diversity teaches us. So here in this chapter we will see that what different children, they have their likings, what they have different likings, yet we all know that every child is special in its own way, right? Not everyone can let's say are good in studies or good in sports. Each individual has their own potentials and they act according to their potentials. We all know this, right? So here in this chapter we will see that what these individuals has to say about themselves. Okay, so that is generally what that chapter is. Here we will see that there are few children who have talked about what they like and what they dislike, what they want to be. Okay, general normal things that we also discuss sometimes in class. Okay, so let's see that what we have to read in this chapter. And not only that we are different children, we are going to also see in this chapter that how those differences, it is interesting in itself. Okay, every individual has their own differences, different likings, but still all those every one of us are very interesting in their own ways. Okay, so let's start reading the chapter, children, and then we will discuss this further. Okay, so the name of the chapter is Who I Am, and we are going to read the part first, which is many voices. So here we are going to see the many voices of children, that what they have to say about themselves, what they like, what they don't like. Okay, so let's start reading it. My favorite activity is climbing trees. Just outside our house there is a mango tree which I love to go upon. Its branches spread out so it is simple to climb up the tree, and I can sit comfortably in the fork of two branches. My mother tells me it is not sensible for girls to climb the tree. But one afternoon she climbs up too, and both of us sat there talking and eating raw mangoes. When I am high up in the tree, I feel like I can rule the whole world. Okay, so this is what Radha has said. Okay, she is basically here, Radha, she is sharing her views, that what she likes. She is basically telling us about the liking she has and the daring act that she is performing, and the act is of climbing up the tree. So here she is telling us that outside her house there is a mango tree which she likes, and she loves to climb the tree every day. Okay, and its branches, it is covered, and it is covered in those leaves, with the leaves, and a large area which made it easier for her to climb because the branches are pretty long. So she manages to climb the tree. Okay, and she also tells us that she sat on the part of the branch which seems to be like a fork. Okay, basically a branch which looks something like this. We know that a branch, it has joints, so if it is a tree, so these are the two branches. Okay, and she sat here on those two combination of those two branches. And she also tells us that when she does this act of climbing on the tree, her mother, she is basically against of these act which she is doing. Her mother, she tries to stop her from climbing the tree by saying that it is not good for a girl to climb up a tree. This is what her mother told her, that don't do this because this is not something that a girl should do. But one noon, what happened, her mother, she also climbs up on the tree, and she also enjoys up there with her a piece of mango. They both, the mother and the daughter, they are eating a mango, and they are talking to each other, and they are giggling over there. Okay, and Radha, she said that she the climbing of trees, she loves it. She want to do it every day because she feels, when she is up there, she feels that she is here to rule the world. Okay, she gets this thought on whenever she is up there on the tree, that she is the one who can rule the whole world. So this is what Radha she thinks. So basically we can conclude that the liking she has is that she wants to climb up the tree every day. She loves to climbing up, to go up there and sit there and enjoy the view. Okay, and the long branches of mango tree, it is making it possible for her to climb up there because the branches are long, and she sat on those two combination of those two branches, and there she enjoys the view, and whenever she is up there, she feels as if she can rule the whole world. Okay, now after Radha, we are going to talk about Nasir. Let's see what he wants to tell us. When I grow up, I want to become a seed collector. We have cotton fields in our village, and every year my father spends a lot of money on buying new seeds to grow our cotton plants. My grandfather told me that many years ago he could collect the seeds from his own plant, which could be sown to grow new plants during the next year. But today, that doesn't work, so we have to spend money to buy new seeds every single year. I want to find out why that is so. I want to learn how to preserve seeds so that we can use them again and not spend money every year. So here you can see that how sweet Nasir is, how so innocent he is. The basic things that he want to become, he basically wants to become a seed collector, and the reason behind it is very sweet, that why he want to be a seed collector is because as his family had cotton fields, and every year his father had to spend a good amount of money to buy those seeds so that he could sow those he could basically grow those cotton seeds into plants. He wanted to stop this expenditure of money. Okay, he basically wants to know that from what and how he can preserve those seeds, and how he can help his father so that he doesn't have to buy those expensive seeds of cotton Okay, and he also have talked to his had talked to his grandfather, who told him that in their times when he was the one who used to go to the farming in the field, they used to get seed from their own plant. Okay, so from there he understands that it is possible to get the seeds from your own plant. But and he also told them that these seeds were used to grow new plants that he used to get from his own plants. Okay, and he wanted to search the ways. Nasir, he basically wants to search the ways in which he can preserve those seeds, and he can help his father so that he doesn't have to spend those money on buying those seeds. Okay, so this is what Nasir had to say, children. Now let's move on to Rohit, and let's see what he wants to say. If I had a huge amount of money, I would travel and travel. I want to see the mountains of New Zealand because they looked beautiful in the magazine picture. I wish I could sail down the Amazon River in South America on a raft. I want to live on the beaches of Lakshadweep and dive down to see coal. I suppose I should go to the Konkat temple in Orissa or the old city in Beijing in China, and the pyramids of Egypt too. But what I actually enjoy is seeing nature more than old buildings. So here is Rohit, who is telling us that what he likes and what he wants to do. Okay, so he is sharing with us that he has a passion for traveling. Basically wants to travel the world and see everything that is possible for him to see. So here are a few things that he told us that what he wants to see, so that as he have already seen those pictures of those things in magazines and from books. Okay, so these are the places that he mentioned. So first of all, he said that he wants to visit the New Zealand so that he could go and see the mountains of New Zealand because they looked very good in magazines. He also wanted to raft on the Amazon River, which is in South Africa. Okay, and he also said that he wanted to live on the beaches of Lakshadweep and dive down in the sea so that he could see the coal. He wishes that the list, it never ends. He basically has a long list of traveling, and the places that he mentions are very beautiful according to him, because he has seen those places on magazines or pictures, and he wants to visit those places by physically. He wants to see those places, that the beauty that he has seen of those places in magazine, or he has heard about it, how beautiful or how great of an experience he would get when he is actually present at that place. So he also mentions that he wants to go to the old city in Beijing, and he wants to see the pyramids of Egypt. He also says that he wants to basically he says that the things that he more enjoy is the nature rather than the old building. So the old architecture is not his preference while he is traveling. The more preferred side of his liking is the nature that he wants to see, basically. This is what Rohit has to say. Now let's move on to Sarabjit. What makes me very angry is when people don't believe me when I am telling the truth. For example, if I tell my teacher that I couldn't go do my homework because Ravi borrowed my book and forget to return it, or I tell my parents that it wasn't me but my little brother who started the fight, or if I tell my teacher that I really did study for the test even if I have got bad marks, they all looked at me as if they think I am telling lies. The look on their face really angers me. Sometimes I have to look down to my shoes and count to 10 so that I don't have shown that I am angry. So this is what Sarabjit he has to say. He is basically telling us that he felt very angry to be, whenever people they don't believe what he is saying. Okay, he feels very angry when everyone, they disbelieves in whatever he's saying. When he spoke the truth and people did not believe him, he feels very angry. They thought that he's lying, because generally we know that, we assume that children lie because they don't want us to beat them or scold them. So this is what Sarabjit he has to say, that he thinks that people, they think he or assume as him as a liar, even though he is not saying lie or not telling a lie, he is actually telling the truth. Like for example, he mentioned few incidences that whenever he says to his teacher that I have done my homework, but I was not, sorry, I was not able to do my homework because my friend Ravi, he has borrowed my book and he forget to return it. Or he also says that whenever my parents, they don't believe me when I say that my little brother, he is the one who has started the fight, and that is the reason that we have fought. So they don't believe in me. And he also says that whenever teacher, they don't believe me that I studied, but even though I was not able to get good marks in my exam, it doesn't mean that I have not studied. I have studied, but I was not able to score a good marks. So these are few events that he had mentioned, that you know these are the common events that he mentioned, that feels as if people thinks that he is a liar. This is what Sarabjit has to say, that this is what he believes, that just because I am saying all of this and they don't believe me, they basically scold me, my parents, my teacher. And he also mentioned few events out of there. Okay, and he also says that whenever all these things happen, he feels very angry, and while they are scolding me, instead of looking at them so that they will they will get to know that I am angry from them, and I am getting very annoyed by all of these, I prefer looking at my shoes, and basically I prefer at looking at my shoes, and and I start counting from 1 to 10, so that my anger, it could cool down, and they don't understand, or they don't see that I am angry. They think, they basically thinks, at that moment they think that maybe I am listening to them and I am taking all of those things. But he basically feels that it is very annoying, and very, it feels for him to be angry. He gets angry from all of those things, because he thinks that his parents and his teacher, they don't believe in him, and they think that he is a liar, even though he is telling the truth, even though he is telling what actually happened. But they don't believe in him, and and he feels that they thinks that always I am lying to them. Okay, this is what Sarabjit has to say. Let's move on to Peter. My favorite day is the second Sunday of every month. On this day, our whole family always go to the cinema hall to see a film. My father gets the ticket in advance, and all of us, my grandmother, my parents, and two brothers, and I, take the bus there. In the interval, my father buys us peanuts, and I love to sit in the darkness of the hall, eating and watching the film. Afterwards, we also stop to eat ice cream. Everyone is in a good mood, and we all feel very lucky that we are such a happy family. So this is what Peter has to say, that he loves the thing that he loves is, or he enjoys, is the second week of every Sunday, sorry, second month of every Sunday. Why so? Because on that day, that is the day of family time, and that is the time when his family, whole family, his father, mother, grandmother, other two brothers, and he himself, they all go to see movie in a theater. And his father, he basically buys the ticket in advance, and they all have this family moment where they all go in the cinema hall. His father is already there, and his mother and other family members, they go to this place by a bus, and they are there with his father. His father is already there, and he enjoys eating peanuts inside the dark theater with his parents, with his family members, and not only that they enjoy the movie, eating peanuts and watching the movie, he also tells us that when they are going back to their house, there they stop to eat ice cream. Okay, they love eating ice cream there, and there they eat ice cream, and after, they basically enjoy and they have this family time with each other. During all these moments, he feels very happy, and he feels as if he feels that he is very fortunate to have a very happy and very very bright, and all those experiences that he is having with his family. He feels very happy and feels very fortunate to have all those moments with his family. So this is what Peter has to say. So children, here, this is the whole chapter, the lesson, and I hope you all understood. So basically in this chapter there is nothing different. We just studied and saw that how all these children, they have their own liking. We saw that Radha, she loves to climb tree. On the other hand, Sarabjit, he basically has a complaint that his parents and his teacher, they don't believe what he says. And on the other hand, Peter, his preferred thing to do is or preferred liking is that all the Sundays that he is able to spend with his father, mother, and all the other family members. So we see all those children, they have different liking, different things, but all the those things, those differences, they think that they are interesting for them, right? So this is what we read. So I hope that all of you understood this lesson. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, children. Okay, and for your homework, what you have to do is you have to write down the hard words, 20 hard words from the chapter, and also you have to write down the word meaning of those any 10 hard words, and also after that you have to write 5 sentences from any of those hard words. Okay, so this is what your homework is. I hope you all understood the video clearly. Thank you and have a nice day, children.